The loft stretches wide before me, its high ceilings swallowing the city's hum, a distant weave of horns, the rumble of trains, the pulse of life beyond these walls. I'm Hannah, 41, an author whose novels line shelves in bookstores I'll never visit, my name a quiet weight in literary circles. The air smells of coffee and ink, the hardwood floor cool under my bare feet as I move through the space, my silk blouse brushing my arms, its hem skimming the waist of my tailored trousers. My hair, chestnut, streaked with silver, falls loose to my shoulders, catching the late afternoon light that spills through the floor-to-ceiling windows. Outside, the urban sprawl glitters, a jagged skyline of glass and steel, but here, in this sanctuary of exposed brick and leather furniture, I'm tethered to something softer, something fragile. Last year, I married Stan, another writer, his essays sharp where my fiction curves. It's my second marriage, the first a distant bruise, 10 years with a man whose love faded into silence, leaving me to rebuild alone. Stan's different. Steady, cerebral, his laughter rare but warm. Our life together is a rhythm of shared drafts and late-night talks, our desks facing each other across the loft's open expanse, manuscripts piling like driftwood. But there's a shadow in it. His son, Nicholas, 22, a literature student with his father's eyes and a heart I hadn't expected to care for. Nicholas lives nearby, his apartment a short walk through the city's pulse, but he's here often, his presence a thread woven into our days. I pause at the kitchen island, my fingers tracing the granite's cool edge, the surface flecked with quartz that catches the light. Nicholas and I clicked early, a surprise I still turn over in my mind. He's young, but there's a wisdom in him, romantic, earnest, his words careful yet bold when we talk books or dreams. He wants to write like Stan, like me, and I've caught myself smiling at his ambition, the way he scribbles notes in margins, his brow furrowed over a novel's twist. As his stepmother, I'm a strange bridge, not quite mother, not quite friend, but we've built something solid, a trust that hums when he asks for advice. His new girlfriend, Clara, has been the latest topic. A painter, fiery and quick, her laugh filling our dinners when he brings her here. I've counseled him through her quirks, how to listen, how to give her space. My voice steady, maternal, though I'm still learning what that means. The loft feels empty today, Stan at a university panel, his absence a quiet ache. I'm alone, the city's drone a faint pulse beyond the glass, and I move to my desk, the leather chair creaking as I sink into it. My latest manuscript waits, pages marked with red ink, but my mind drifts to Nicholas, to the way he's grown into himself this year, his boyish edges sharpening into something else. He's handsome, I've admitted in fleeting moments. Dark curls that fall across his forehead, hazel eyes that hold a depth I can't quite read. A frame that's filled out with quiet strength. It's a thought I push away, quick and sharp, because he's Stan's son, my stepson, a line I don't cross. Yet it lingers, a flicker I feel in my chest, my skin warming as I shift in my chair, the silk of my blouse catching against my collarbone. I stand, restless, crossing to the bookshelf that lines one wall. Its shelves heavy with novels and journals, their spines worn from years of hands. Mine, Stan's, now Nicholas's. My fingers brush a volume of poetry, its cover soft under my touch, and I think of him reading here last week, sprawled on the couch, his voice low as he tested lines aloud. There's a romance in him, a tenderness that makes me wonder about Clara, about what draws him to her. I've seen them together, his hand on her back, her smile tilting toward him, and felt a pang, not jealousy, but something unnamed, a curiosity about the heart he wears so openly. The city's light shifts, graying as clouds roll in, and I feel it. A change in the air, a weight settling over the loft, like the pages of a story turning toward something new. My phone buzzes on the island, a soft vibration that pulls me back. It's a message from Stan, brief, saying he'll be late. I exhale, the sound loud in the stillness, and move to the couch, sinking into its leather, the cushions yielding under my weight. My trousers stretch across my thighs, the fabric smooth, and I cross my legs, the motion deliberate, grounding. I'm not young anymore, but I carry myself with a confidence earned. My body's softer now, curves where there were once angles, yet strong, alive in ways I've learned to trust. Writing has taught me that. To feel the world, to let it move through me, even when it's messy, even when it's forbidden. The loft's quiet wraps around me, the cities hum a distant tide, and I think of Nicholas again, his laugh, his questions, the way he looks at me sometimes, like I'm more than the woman who married his father. It's a thought I shouldn't entertain, a warmth I shouldn't chase, but it's there, stirring in the hush of this space. My pulse quickens, a steady beat against my wrist, and I lean back, my hair spilling across the leather, the coolness a contrast to the flush creeping up my neck. I've built a life here with Stan, with words, but there's a crack in it, a space where something else might grow, something dangerous, something I can't yet name. The door clicks, a sharp sound that cuts through my thoughts, and I sit up, my breath catching. Nicholas steps in, his frame filling the doorway, his jacket damp from the city's drizzle. His face is shadowed, eyes downcast, and he drops his bag with a thud, collapsing onto the couch across from me. My heart steadies, then trips again, not from surprise, but from the way he looks, the distress etched into his jaw, his curls mussed as he runs a hand through them. He murmurs something about Clara, his voice low, fractured, and I feel it. A jolt, sharp and unbidden, as his gaze lifts to mine, heavy with something raw. The loft shrinks, the air between us charged, and I lean forward, my hands clasped, knowing I should comfort him, knowing I want to, but unsure what this moment might unravel. The loft hums with the city's pulse, a low drone seeping through the windows as dusk settles, painting the brick walls in shades of amber and shadow. My life is a tapestry of words and choices, novels that bear my name, a second marriage to Stan, and now this moment, where the air feels heavy with something I can't yet grasp. My silk blouse clings to my shoulders, the fabric cool against my skin, and my trousers hug my legs as I move through the kitchen. The granite island a steady anchor under my palms. Nicholas sits on the couch, his frame slumped, the weight of his breakup with Clara etched into the lines of his face. His dark curls are messy, his hazel eyes dulled, and I feel it. A tug in my chest, sharp and unfamiliar as I watch him unravel. He's been here since yesterday, his distress a quiet storm that's shifted the loft's rhythm. Clara's gone, he said, her departure sudden, a fight, a door slammed, her paintings left behind in his apartment. It's hit him hard, cracking the confidence that usually lights him up, the romantic wisdom I've come to admire. He's 22, young enough to feel it deeply, old enough to hide it poorly, and I've caught myself lingering on him, his voice, his gestures, the way he's more than Stan's son, more than my stepson. The thought is a flicker I shouldn't chase, but it's there, warming my skin as I pour wine into 2 glasses, the liquid catching the lamplight like a promise. Stan's away, his conference stretching into the weekend, and the loft feels vast without him, its open space both refuge and trap. I suggested a movie night to Nicholas earlier, my voice light, a stepmother's instinct to mend what's broken. He nodded, a faint spark in his eyes, and now the couch waits, its leather gleaming under the glow of a single lamp. I carry the wine over, my bare feet silent on the hardwood, and set a glass before him, the clink of it sharp in the stillness. My blouse shifts, the silk brushing my collarbone, and I feel the weight of my body, curves softened by years, yet alive, aware. As I settle beside him, close but not too close, the space between us a careful boundary. The television flickers to life, a black and white film I chose for its quiet beauty, but my attention drifts, caught on Nicholas's profile, the curve of his jaw, the way his fingers curl around the wineglass, restless. He's handsome, I realize again, the thought slipping through before I can stop it. Not boyish, not anymore, his shoulders broader now, his presence steady despite the hurt shadowing him. I shift, my trousers rustling, and sip my wine, the taste tart on my tongue, grounding me. The city's hum fades, the loft wrapping us in a hush that feels intimate, dangerous, and I wonder if he feels it too, this shift, this pull beneath the surface. The film plays on, its images a blur, and I turn to him, my voice soft. You're enough, Nicholas. Clara, she made her choice, but it's not about you. My words are careful, woven with the care I've learned to offer him, advice on studies, on love, on the stories he wants to write. He looks at me, his eyes catching the light, and there's a rawness there, a vulnerability that makes my breath catch. "I thought I was enough," he says, voice low, and the admission cracks something in me, a need to reassure, to heal. I lean closer, my hand resting on the couch, inches from his, and feel the warmth radiating from him, the scent of his cologne, cedar, faint musk, cutting through the wine's tang. We talk, the movie forgotten, words spilling between us like pages turning. I tell him he's kind, brilliant, that any girl would see it. My voice steady, maternal, but my pulse betrays me, quickening as his gaze lingers. He's listening, but there's more, a spark in his eyes, a slow return of the Nicholas I know, the one who dreams in poetry and loves with a heart too big for his years. The loft grows warmer, the lamps glow pooling around us, and I feel my body respond. My skin flushing, my fingers tightening around my glass. He's beautiful, I think, and the word lands heavy, forbidden, because he's Stan's son, my stepson, a line I've drawn in ink. The wineglass is empty now, its weight light in my hand as I set it down, the motion pulling my blouse tighter across my chest. I'm aware of myself, my hair loose, silver threads catching the light, my body softened but strong, a woman who's learned to feel the world fully. Nicholas shifts, his knee brushing the couch closer to mine, and he laughs, a soft sound that breaks the tension, then builds it again. "You really think I'm okay?" he asks, half joking, but there's a hunger in it, a need for more than words. My heart trips and I nod, my voice catching. "More than okay. Anyone would be lucky to have you." He tilts his head, a curl falling across his forehead, and his eyes hold mine too long, too deep. "Even you?" he says, the question light, teasing, but it lands like a spark, igniting the air. My breath stills, my mind racing, Stan's face, the loft, the life I've built, but my body answers before I can stop it. "Of course," I say, my voice low, and the words hang there, heavy with truth I didn't mean to speak. His gaze darkens, a flicker of something bold, and I feel it. A jolt, sharp and electric, as my hand moves, brushing his arm, the contact fleeting but searing, his skin warm under my fingers. The loft shrinks, the city's pulse a distant murmur, and I'm caught, my role as stepmother fraying, my desire a tide I can't hold back. His hand grazes mine, a slow press of knuckles against my palm, and the touch lingers, testing, asking. My pulse hammers, a wild rhythm against my ribs, and I feel the forbidden weight of it. He's too young, too close, Stan's son. And yet it's there, a heat curling through me, sharpening the ache I've buried. The lamp casts shadows, dancing across his face, and I lean closer, my hair spilling forward, the silk of my blouse cool against my flush. Then, a creak, sharp and sudden, from the loft stairs. My heart leaps, my hand pulling back, and Nicholas freezes, his eyes darting to the sound. The room stills, the air thick with our nearness, our silence, and I'm left breathless, my skin tingling, wondering if we're truly alone, if this moment will break or bind us. The city hums beyond the walls, oblivious, and I feel the cliff's edge, close, perilous, waiting. The loft pulses with a stillness that feels alive, its brick walls bathed in the lamp's amber glow, the cities hum a faint tide beyond the glass. My body a map of choices, novels etched in ink, a marriage to Stan, and now this moment where the air crackles with what I can't unsee. My silk blouse clings to my shoulders, its hem grazing my trousers, and my hair, chestnut, silver-streaked, spills loose, brushing my neck as my pulse races, a wild thud against my ribs. Nicholas sits close, too close, his frame taut on the couch, his dark curls catching the light, his hazel eyes heavy with a question that mirrors my own. The creak of the stairs lingers, a false alarm, the loft empty save for us. But it's left us teetering, the space between us charged, fragile, a page about to turn. His hand rests near mine, knuckles grazing my palm, and the touch, fleeting in the moment before, holds now, a deliberate press that sends heat curling through me. My breath catches, my mind flashing to husband, to the life we've built, but it's distant, a shadow against the warmth radiating from Nicholas. He's 22, Stan's son, my stepson, and the forbidden weight of it sharpens the ache in my chest, a thrill I shouldn't chase but can't resist. The wineglass sits empty on the table, its rim glinting, and I feel my body awaken, my skin flushing, the silk of my blouse tightening across my chest, my trousers taut as I shift, drawn to him like the tide to shore. Nicholas moves first, bold where I falter, his fingers curling around my wrist with a sureness that steals the air. He pulls me closer, my body yielding, and our lips meet, a collision of warmth and risk that floods my senses. The taste of him hits me, wine, cedar, a faint trace of salt, and it's a current racing through my veins, pooling low in my belly. My hands find his shoulders, fingers pressing into the soft cotton of his shirt, feeling the muscle beneath, steady despite the hurt he carries. Clara's absence, his broken confidence, it's all here, woven into the way he leans into me, hungry yet tender. A romantic I've glimpsed in his poetry, his dreams. The couch's leather is cool against my back as I sink deeper, Nicholas following, his weight a gentle press that anchors me. My blouse slips, one button loosening, bearing the curve of my collarbone, and I feel the air cool against my flush, clashing with the heat of his breath on my neck. My thoughts fracture, Stan's face, the loft, the stories I've written. But they scatter, lost to the rhythm of us, the way his hands roam, slow and deliberate, tracing the line of my waist. The forbidden hums louder. He's too young, too close, a line I've crossed in thought and now in touch, and it sharpens the sensation. A wave building inside me, relentless. My fingers thread through his curls, tugging gently, and he responds, his lips leaving mine to graze my jaw, a soft press that turns electric as his stubble scrapes my skin. My breath hitches, a raw sound swallowed by the loft's hush, and I arch into him, my chest brushing his, the silk of my blouse a thin barrier. His hands move, one sliding to my hip, the other higher, flattening against my ribs, and I tremble, the exposure a thrill that tightens the coil in my core. The lamp casts shadows, dancing across his face. Eyes dark with need, a vulnerability that mirrors my own, and I'm caught. The boundaries of stepmother and stepson dissolving in the heat of this moment. The leather creaks as I shift, my trousers slipping lower, bearing a sliver of skin above my waistband, and Nicholas's fingers find it, warm and rough. A touch that draws a sound from me, soft and involuntary. It spurs him on, his breath quickening against my ear, and I feel it everywhere, the press of his chest, the cedar scent filling my lungs, the city's pulse fading to nothing. My hands roam, sliding under his shirt, tracing the taut lines of his back, warm and smooth, and he tenses, a sharp inhale vibrating through me. The loft shrinks, the world narrowing to us, the couch, the lamp, the rhythm of our nearness sinking, a tide I can't hold back. I tug at his shirt, needing more, and he pulls back just enough to shed it. The motion swift, revealing the lean strength of his frame, skin kissed by summer despite the city's gray. My blouse follows, buttons undone, and I feel the air cool against my skin, raising goosebumps, but his hands burn, one cupping my neck, the other easing my trousers lower. The sensations overwhelming, the leather beneath my thighs, the roughness of his fingers, the warmth of his lips finding the hollow of my throat. My senses flood, each touch a note in a song I've forgotten how to sing, and I lean into it, my hair spilling across the couch, my body alive, unburdened. The wave builds, higher, fiercer, and I surrender fully, my hands gripping his curls, his shoulders, pulling him closer. His lips return to mine, rougher now, a rhythm that matches the rush in my veins, and I feel the heat peak. A flood that rips through me, intense, shattering, my body trembling as it spills over. Nicholas follows, a shudder tearing through him, his forehead pressed to mine, our breaths tangling in the quiet. We still, a knot of warmth and sweat, the loft settling around us, heavy with the scent of us, cedar wine, the faint musk of what we've shared. My skin's damp, the leather cool beneath me, and I feel the afterglow burn through me, electric, alive, a current I can't shake. Nicholas's hand lingers, steadying me, and I open my eyes, meeting his, hazel, unguarded, a softness beneath the fire. It's transformative, this moment, and I know I'm changed, the loneliness I've carried, the weight of my role dissolving into something raw, real. The city hums beyond the walls, oblivious, and I feel the weight of it. What we've done, what it means, settling into my bones, a secret the loft holds in its shadows. Epilogue. Morning light spills into the loft, pale and sharp, cutting through the windows to pool on the hardwood. I'm at my desk, a mug of coffee cooling in my hands, the manuscript before me untouched. Nicholas left for class hours ago, his footsteps quiet as he slipped out, but his presence lingers. A warmth on my skin, a tender ache in my chest. The city wakes outside, horns and footsteps a distant chorus, and I think of husband due back tonight, his steady voice a contrast to the fire I've tasted. I'm not the same.